Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. And today we are going to do our continuation of news from you, the viewer slash subscriber. Now, I know I've been trying to get these out on Sundays. It's been a little odd for me over the weekends. We're going to try and get them out done on Sundays, but today I'm just a day behind, so it's going to be for Monday, so 6/24. 2024. If you have news, pictures, an article, any sort of intel, I'm going to scroll this at the bottom of the screen. Just send it to me in an email form. The only thing that I ask is to try and make sure that it is firsthand um, to a certain extent. And then let me know what part. Don't send a 3 hour video when all you want me to pay attention to is the first 5 minutes or whatever. But let's just jump into this. We've got some pretty interesting ones that got sent in, and so I want to go ahead and bring up a couple of these. So let's see if I can find this one here. All right, so don't pay attention to that there. Right down here. So hundreds of canned coffee products recalled over botulism risk. Now, if you go down through here and you get into this, there's hundreds of these that have been recalled that is containing this deadly so-called toxin. And basically, it is causing botulism. Most of anybody that is part of the preparedness community, that's usually the thing that gets out when people start talking about canning. Oh, I don't want to can because a fear of botulism. Here's the thing: if you do it, you have more control. You have people that is mass producing, mass manufacturing, and they're recalling things for botulism and then all sorts of other things all the time. So just keep that in mind, so that way, you know, as you kind of go through with all this other stuff. Now, if you look over at this next one here. So this is a grocery store shooting in Arkansas, leaves 3 dead and 10 wounded, says police. This one happened on Friday. This was a grocery store in Arkansas. Uh, this was just another one of those that it's this is going to probably have an uptick, and this is not me foretelling the future. I do not have a crystal ball. I don't have any sort of magical mystical powers to see the future. I'm just reading the writing on the wall. You'll see why here in just a minute, but you're starting to see this more and more and more. There is a lot of shootings that are taking place. There's a lot of stabbings. There's a lot of road rage. There's a lot of this that just seems to be happening, and it's not just here. This was one of the ones that was sent to me. I could have went through and picked out a lot more. I believe Pinball even did a video on how many there was just in like a weekend or something along those lines. And it's just going to go. Now, here's the thing: if you switch over, now here goes the death toll rises to 20 after gunmen attack Russia, and I'm not going to try and pronounce where that was, but this one right here is. This was, I believe, 4 different places. So they attacked, I think it was 2 churches, a synagogue, and somewhere else. They're saying that there was various gunmen that went on a rampage in a coordinated attack style. And it's just you're saying this. So now you have something here in the U.S. Now you have something in Russia. I could make probably a 24-hour long video of how many shootings all over the world happen. And the only thing is so far here in the United States, it seems to be very randomized right now. The one that took place here that one of you sent in, this was very coordinated. Usually you don't have 4 simultaneously happening at the same time. So that right there is an indicator. Now, if we move on to this one here, now there's 4 dead, dozens injured after missile fragments rain down on civilians. And they're going to again, because of where this is, Russia occupied Crimea. So take that for who's writing that article. Now, this one here is going to be very interesting, just because of what happened. Now, you had this is going to be one that if you look at the analysis on it, any sort of civilized military is going to say that going into that beach area in Crimea is a no-go. That's a no-no. You don't do that. So whether it was done intentionally, by mistake, some sort of error, whatever, what's done is done. The point is, it's going to be one of those ones to where there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. There's reports I saw that uh, Russia took down a Reaper drone, then it got backtracked and said that it actually fell out of the sky because of technical errors, and now it's come all the way back to there wasn't even a Reaper in the sky. So uh, who knows on that one? But uh, now you're getting into the thing where Russia is going to be able to use this and go, hey, these are American weapons given to these people that had to be trained by Americans, had to use uh, America's analysis and input and targeting positions and satellites and reconnaissance and all this other stuff. So it's just another thing there. So whatever, if this was done intentionally, mistake, whatever, it's just another thing that Russia is going to be able to use to be able to justify. And again, I preach this a lot on this channel. Take the names out of it and just say A, B, C, whatever. You know, Team B is going to use this because people died. You have women and children, and when you start taking names out of it to where you don't have an emotional involvement, all of a sudden things become a little bit more clear that you can see more sides. So, but all this hype and the things that have been going on, now you're starting to get articles like this. So here comes one of the map of the best places to live in the US if nuclear war breaks out. Well, that's just convenient, right? That they just put this out. Now, how true this map is, I'll let you guys decide. I figure I'd just go ahead and show it. Maybe you can pick out where you are in this or whatnot. Keep in mind, this is an MSN article, so who knows? Uh, but if you want to go, you can head over to that link and look it up and click on there and go down and through. But I just wanted to bring this up because one of you guys sent it to me, and therefore I wanted to share it to you. But keep in mind, here we are. So now we're talking all about this nuclear stuff and things like this. But let's switch over to here. So here's an NBC News article. U.S. prepper culture diversifies amid fears and disasters of political unrest. So, and I believe Pinball did a video on this as well. So, the number of preppers have doubled to about 20 million since 2017. This one's a very interesting article. It's kind of geared around this lady right here, and it's very interesting because if you look all through here and see all the different people that is here in the background. It's very interesting because when it goes down into this, they're trying to say that it is much more diverse and all this other stuff. Especially if you go into the very, very first line of this. Um, it's basically saying that she is a self-described 30-year-old lesbian from Indiana. I don't know why that's prudent to the conversation, but they of course had to put that in there. But they're sitting there and calling this out. So they put their NBC thing on there because they're saying that normally it is bearded white men with closely cropped hair and heavily tattooed. So I don't know if they just looked at my channel and described me or whatnot, but they were also saying that it was covered with hippie moms carrying babies with rainbow colored things, a bunch of Latino families, all sorts of other things. I just found it interesting that they really wanted to do that, and then they chose this picture. Quite odd. My thing on this, the takeaway that I have, is take away their spin. I believe they're correct. I believe that you're having a lot more people no matter of age, gender, sexual orientation, background, whatever. You're having a lot more people are starting to get into that mindset of something's not right and I need to do something about it. It doesn't matter. When it comes into the prepping community, I don't care, who it is that you're in the bedroom with. I don't care about your skin color, your age, whatever. I care about if you're a good person and if you are going to be part of the community, if you're going to help, if you're going to do the things, that's what I care about. And so I agree that I think that as everything grows, you're going to have people from all walks of life and all sorts of different backgrounds, coming into this. But let's pull it back for just a second because I want to bring this article in. Now, this one's my article. So, dad dies after being trapped under a car for hours, and bystanders robbed him instead of helping him. So, keep in mind, as all these new people come in, it doesn't matter. You need to be your own first responder. You need to make sure that you are looking out for you. It's gone are the days, it seems like, of the Good Samaritan. And just put yourself into these shoes. It used to be, at least for me when I was growing up, that if you were on your way home from church or the store or whatever, and you see somebody on the side of the road with their four ways, it was a common courtesy to stop and check on them. Now, it's almost suicidal to stop and check on somebody. And so you kind of have to put yourself in both shoes. If that was you and you really needed help, you would certainly hope somebody would stop and help you. But here we are. Here's what we live in today's society. So in Arizona, this guy was trying to fix his car, and the jack stand fell or gave way or whatever, and he got trapped under the car. And instead of anybody trying to help him or call or do something, bystanders ended up just robbing him. And the sad part is that by the time that police got there, thieves stole everything from his pockets, looted the car he was working on, and then stole the car that he came in to try and work on, the broken down car. So, it took this man for everything as he was laying there slowly dying. And it just goes to show on the world that we live in now. Be prepared that for the most part, you're your own first responder. You are not going to have the Good Samaritan to where there people are going to come to your rescue, your aid, and things like that. You need to be careful. You need to be cautious. You need to make sure that you take extra steps so that way you don't put yourself into this type of situation. Take people with you. Uh, be smart about everything. Now, to switch over, uh, this one here, this might be one of the reasons why people are going. You can only go into debt for so long and go, so much out there. Keep in mind right here, we're not that far away when we're going to hit that $35 trillion mark. If you take a look down here, and again, I don't know how true these numbers are, but in the 60s, we're at 52. In the 80s, we fell by about 20, and that only took 20 years. And then 20 years later, not only did we go right back, but we actually beat it by a few points. So you would think in 20 years, so 2020, that the worst case that we could do would be 20, 25 points. No, we've almost doubled it. So that's how scary this has become. And it's going to end up coming back into a lot of things where it's just going to be one of those sort of things to where you are, again, you're your own first responder in all of this. And so just be careful, be in that mindset. We need to help people when we can. I believe in trying to vet people, judging their character, doing something to where you have some sort of feeling that they are sincere, and they're not trying to take advantage of you, get free stuff out of you, things like that. Make sure that everything, whether it is watching me on YouTube, talking with somebody, doing anything, make sure whatever you're doing brings value, brings something to the table. Because if it's not, then you're just wasting time, you're wasting money, you're wasting something, especially if it's time. You're never getting it back. This second is gone. It's done. You'll never get it back. There is no redo. It's the same thing in life. It's the same thing in SHTF. You get one shot every second. And it's what you do with that is what's going to be, you know, how things go forward. Every action has a consequence, whether that's a positive consequence or a negative consequence. Uh, sometimes you get dumb luck. Sometimes you're just going to have to pay the bill. You're going to make a mistake, and we're human. Sometimes it is accidental. Sometimes you just make a bad decision, and you have to pay the consequence. Now, sometimes that's severe. Sometimes it's not as bad as it could have been. Sometimes you make a really good decision, and the fruits of your labor come back tenfold. So now is the time to do what you can to prepare. Uh, Set little tiny goals. Put $5 a week back, and anytime that you go to a store, buy 5 cans of something. Even if it's more than $1 a can, buy 3 cans. Buy something, set some money back, and make sure that every single time that you go into a store to purchase something, look around and what could $5 do? What can you bring home for that $5? Can you bring home a $2-3 case of water? Can you bring home aluminum foil? Can you bring home, another thing of rubbing alcohol or band-aids, gauze, anything along those lines? Set goals and try and go after them, attack them, go after them with a sense of urgency and purpose. So that's what I've got for you guys. I hope you guys had a little bit of enjoyment out of this and gained a little bit of insight and intel. Again, if you want to send something, there's a little ticker right there. Just send it to me. Again, this is new, so this is your first time watching it. Thank you so much. Uh, but it's going to be one of those things. If I don't get to yours, please don't take offense to it. I get a lot of these, and so I kind of have to go through and dig, and I can only pick out so many. So just keep sending them in, and we will get to as many as we possibly can. But for that, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Stay tuned because there is definitely more information to come. And with that, I want you to please remember, remain united because we're all prepping in this together.